On January 30th, on January 20th, 1973, my face was splashed over the front of the world's newspapers. That night, on the national news, Walter Cronkite called me a disheveled acid freak. I was a pawn on the chessboard of the Nixon Law and Order ticket, captured in Afghanistan with Dr. Timothy Leary, the so-called Pope of LSD. I was kidnapped with Professor Timothy Leary, fugitive dissenter. On orders of Richard Nixon, we were brought back to California for his second inauguration. In Kabul, Timothy and I were taken by covert CIA agents and locked up in a dark and dirty dungeon together. We were held for 5 days with barely any food until it was time for a group of undercover CIA agents packing 357 Magnums to close rank around us and fly us across 3 continents. We would then be paraded in front of the paparazzi, representatives of the world press at Los Angeles International Airport. I was Timothy Leary's lover. I had met him in Switzerland 6 weeks before we headed to Kabul. I was not an American. I didn't even have a visa to enter this country. I had never been to California. I was a poker chip in Nixon's entourage, in an international CIA game of law and order. I was 26 years old. I had never been arrested anywhere in the world. Like Nixon's cronies, Timothy Leary was a brilliant media manipulator. He was 53 years old, so to be photographed with a gorgeous young woman on his arm would serve his game of cops and robbers in a clever way. What about me? Oh, I knew my place as a glamorous pawn. I had been brainwashed for that role since I was a small child. Women are here to be accessories to men. Behind every great man, there is a woman. I had found my great man. I had been trained to be a magnificent courtesan. On January 20th, 2017, when the billionaire, military, corporate class took over, my pussy became afraid. At night, when I am about to fall asleep, I curl up in the fetal position with my hand cupped over my vagina. I will defend it with my life because I know that much of my dignity as a woman resides in that center of my being. I will never again let anyone touch my pussy without the deepest reverence and love. I require veneration and respect. My core is my heart, and no one is invited there who doesn't know the tenderness of their own heart. Donald Trump and his gang don't know the strength and sensuality of my pussy. My pussy and my womb are the finest receivers of frequency in the world. They are sacred radio stations that decipher messages from the farthest galaxies, as well as the souls around me. My pussy and my womb are so revered by the spirits of the universe, they host the nothingness that chooses to become form and descend into this reality. Donald Trump and his gangsters want to take our bodies away from us. They want to return me to the streets of Beirut when I was 15 years old, to the abortionist who, because he was doing me a favor, made me watch porn movies before torturing my innocent pussy. They want to send me and my sisters back to the streets of New Jersey, where the kind abortionist would not give me any pain medication. So he would treat me, so he would teach me a lesson once and for all. Trump and his gangsters think my pussy is a cheap object found in a crowded mall. The pussy they can touch to show that it's cheap enough to buy at a low price while supplies last. I will stand and defend my pussy against these invaders. My pussy is afraid of metal pipelines that crisscross the country, raping the land and opening wounds on the skin of the earth. Mr. Trump, my pussy is not up for grabs. And I had to add this morning. I received a beautiful email from a woman who spoke to me about her fear, and so this came. Tonight, 20th of January, 2017, I stand before you as an immigrant of the early 70s. And I stand with you and in front of you as a Jew. I have never stood up in public before and said I was a Jew. My mother forbid me to do that. She had me baptized at birth as a Catholic. She sent me to a Catholic boarding school outside of Paris. She never talked about her 77 close relatives who were exterminated in her hometown of Lwów in Poland. When at 10 years old, I searched the papers in the house and found out we were Jews, that my grandfather had been a rabbi in the town of my ancestors. When I told my mother I was proud of being Jewish, she beat me with a jewel-encrusted belt. Never say that to anyone. You will get us killed. We were in Paris. It was 1956. I was 10 years old. I have never said I am a Jew in public up till now. Somehow on my body there is an imaginary tattoo that says, "Be silent about that. Be a good Catholic, or you will get us killed." This morning, I woke up with a headache I could not chase away. As I was drinking my tea, I realized I was afraid. Afraid of being a Jew, afraid of being a woman, afraid of being only a green card holder, afraid of having once again to leave the land that I love, the red earth and the blue sky that have been my home for such a long time. My ancestors had to leave their homelands so many times: Morocco, Spain, Venice, Poland. I'll say it now, loud and clear. I am a Yiddish kid. I am a Jewish child. The resonance of these words in my bones makes me tremble. Will they come again for us, this time in the United States of America, where I took refuge? Will these righteous white men come for me because I am a Christian imposter?